Hello, consistent, predictable income community. Butch, what's going on? Potty Mouth, how are you doing? Michelle, hello. Kayla, Brittany, Penny, Leslie, Soledad, Janet, welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody? Are you having the best day of your lives? I hope that you are. Hello, YouTube Live. Welcome to day 5 of the 5-day listing challenge. My name is Dan Roshan. I am your coach and your facilitator for this week, and I'm going to invite for you to all turn your videos on. So I'm going to, if I can't see you right now, then you're probably giving me ugly faces, I guess. And maybe Rosalind already gave me an ugly face today when I called her potty mouth. So we want you to go ahead and to have your videos on, because what we know is those of you that have your videos on, those of you that participated here, take more listings and make more money. And certainly if you're showing up today, you want to take more listings and you want to make more money. So I want to congratulate everybody for being here. Again, if you're on YouTube Live, give us a thumbs up and feel free to comment there. I got to grab my magic markers over here. Excuse me. And I'm back. All right. So what I want to do today is to remind you is, what did we do during the 5-day challenge? What we did was on day number one is we did an overview. Day number 2 is we talked about how. Day number 3, we talked about what to do on a live for sale by owner appointment. Day number 4, we talked about we went through an exercise designed to be able to break the pattern of what's held you back in the past, which then brings us to day number 5, which is boom, it's go time, baby. It's go time. All right, it's time for launch. So I'm going to ask invite for you to go ahead and turn your videos on if it's not already done so. And also on day 4, many of you joined us in the Cpi Coaching Corner, which is a weekly mastermind where agents come and mastermind with me live on a weekly basis to be able to identify the small little tweaks in their business that will cause a result, that will allow for you to have sustainability in your business, that will allow for you to be able to understand that you can do this. The thing I want you to get from this challenge is that you can do this. You just have to find your way. And I gave you 3 options of your way throughout this course, throughout this class. And those are only 3 of many. I gave you a step-by-step overview and a step-by-step tactical approach to each of those 3. So I hope that you've been doing the assignment, the daily CPI mission each day. And if you have, you're going to be just like Julie, who I spoke with 3 days ago, who said to me, Dan, I am so freaking excited that this challenge, this is from the last challenge, she told me she listened as a result of that challenge. And before taking the challenge, she had taken only 2 listings in her career for a 3-year period of time. And so on average, she's on about 8 transactions. She's selling about eight sellers a year, or 8 sellers and buyers, eight buyers and sellers a year is what Julie's been averaging. And as she goes through this journey, as she goes through and she implemented the tactics, the step-by-step approach, she then had success. Has it been easy for her through her career? No. Has she rode the peaks and valleys? Has she had success? Oh, yeah. And then I closed this month. I closed, 1, 2, 3 this month. 0 next month. 0 next month. 1 the next month. 0, 0, 2. Whose career here looks sort of like that pattern? Yeah, I get it. I get it. That is a common pattern of doing business. So there's nothing wrong if that's what you're experiencing. It's just the fact that you haven't yet discovered your way. And when you discover your way, that is the key to being able to obtain consistent and predictable income without letting relationships, time, or money fall through the cracks, so that you can have consistency month after month after month. And you can rely on the closings ahead of you so that you can have faith in yourself, so that you can have confidence in yourself, so that you can know for yourself that you can do this. And that's what I want for you coming out of this class. I want you to know that you can do this. That's the number one intention that I have for you. Do you believe in yourself? And if you believe in yourself, have you found the right way to do your business, to make sales? And if you haven't, that's okay. That's what I'm here to be able to help you to do. All right, so let's talk about what we learned through the classes this past week. So a little bit of summary. So we gave you 3 tactics. So today we're tying this all together. So the 3 tactics that we gave you were for sale by owner. Woo. All right. 3 tactics. Number 1, for sale by owner. Number 2, open house. Number 3, Facebook. And what did we talk about? Those are the tactical. Those are all the things in your tactics. And what did we talk about throughout the course? We talked about how you can walk the stairs to gain the result. But what do you have to do before you walk the stairs to gain the result? Who wants to shout out? What do you have to do first? What's the first thing you have to do? Shout it out or type it out. If you're on Facebook, throw your answer in there. Leslie will tell me what you're saying. What do you guys got? What do you have to do first?
Choose a tactic.
Choose a tactic. Before you choose a tactic, I'm asking a poor question. That's on me. That's a great answer. Let me ask a better question. To get a result, the tactic, we're going to do that here in a second, but I'm talking about in any circumstance. What you have to do is you have to first understand, what do you want? That's step 1. Okay, step 1 in any part of the sales process is, what do I want? What's the goal? That's right, Butch. Fantastic. What is the goal? What's the result that I want? And please, thank you. Welcome everyone who's just joined us. Hello, Kay. Hello, Awilda. Hello, Antonio again. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Archie. Hello, people on page 2. If you're on page 2, that's probably because you don't have your video on. So I'm going to invite for you to place your videos on. I'm going to invite for you to participate today, because again, we know that those of you who participate fully get more listings. Those of you who get more listings get more money. And those of you who get more money get more choices. So what we need, so again, I invite for you to turn your videos on. Hello, Kat, welcome. All right, so results. The results, the first thing you have to do is say, what do I want? And then as you understand what do I want, now where am I at? So here's where you're located, and here's where you want to get to. No matter where you are in the sales process, no matter where you are in the sales cycle, when you ask yourself those 2 questions, you know what to do next. I've had a busy day today. This morning, I've already had 3 appointments, 1 with a student and 2 with sellers. And I'm so great, actually 4, because I was masterminding with another coach who is is somebody who we're conspiring to help the world. And so, hello, Krista, say hello, because she's going to watch this later. And she's going to say, Dad, you're so freaking amazing. You did this right and that right and everything else. Whatever. All right. So what we want to do is we want to understand what is the result that you want. I was talking to a student, the student I was talking to earlier, and she was having some questions about some of the tactics. And she says, Dan, it was about the for sale by owner. She said, what do I do when they told me that they're going to wait a month before they sell? Well, the question that I then asked her, I said to her, she may be on here. Let's see if she's on here. I said to her, Isha, I said, what is it that you want? Okay. So the first thing you have to understand is, what is it that you want? The for sale by owner says, I want to wait a month before I consider hiring an agent. So in this case, what is it, if you're the agent and you get that objection from a for sale by owner, what is it that you want?
Establish a relationship.
Boom. Who said that? Venus. Was that Venus? Yay, congratulations. That's right. So when you understand and you framework it, because sometimes you're in a position where you don't necessarily know the answer to the question, right? But that's because you're not, sometimes we're not asking the right question. She's like, how do I handle this objection? My response to her was, well, what do you want? And once we had to dive a little bit deep into that, but once she understood, well, okay, what do I want? What's the framework? What's the CPI for sale by owner framework? The result that I'm looking for is that I want a relationship. So now, instead of worrying about the objection, now you just go back to the ingredients and sit there and say, well, how do I get that relationship? Well, those of you who do the for sale by owner tactic this week know it's about communicating with them twice a week by adding value and contributing to them without necessarily soliciting for their business until you hear the opportunity to do so. It's only here, let me help, let me help, let me help, let me help. Twice a week. So that is the framework of any given circumstance that you're in. Whatever the objection is that you're handling, whatever it is, wherever you are in your life, in your sales process, when you ask yourself, what result do I want? What do I want to get? Then, where am I right now? Then, how do I get that? Is the result that you're looking for to write an offer that gets accepted? It's the result that you're looking for is to solicit a listing appointment. It's the result that you're looking for to get hired. I told you I had an appointment this morning, and it was a very, very resistant seller. She was resistant to setting the appointment. In fact, typically in my sales process, all right, here's where she was last week. It was, in fact, I showed this on the thing yesterday. I showed you that she accepted the appointment for today. For those of you that were here yesterday, I showed that to you. And Xiong is her name. And when I set the appointment, she was very, very resistant to meet with me. She wouldn't let me speak with her. I got the appointment. I was there at 8:30 a.m. this morning. I go into the house and I start to engage with her. And within a very short period of time, she got out of rapport with me. And that was when I had asked her, I said, what is causing you to want to sell your house? And that question caused some resistance. And it was a cultural type thing, right? So that's an opportunity that I learned today, okay? Yet, what I want to share with you is I'm in that house and I'm thinking, okay, how do I create this so I get the listing? So I ended up reconnecting with rapport with her and then setting a follow-up for her tomorrow to say, you know what, Thank you so much for sharing with me what you shared with me. I'd like to share with you some economics of what's going on in the marketplace and allow for and help you to be able to understand this. May we meet tomorrow. Now, there's a couple things. The reason why I'm telling you that story is because there's a couple things that I want you to get from that story. Number one is I'm following a framework. That framework, we talked about that with Kat the other day. Knock on the door, take a step back, smile, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the first thing that I'm doing is what we teach in the CPI certification, which is the Cpi Communication Model. And I'm going to ask for you to write this down if you got a pen and paper. This is the Cpi Communication Model, which is be in rapport, ask adept questions, actively listen. Be in rapport, ask adept questions, actively listen. So now, when I was there face to face, remember, I just told you, when I got to the questions, there was resistance. So here it is, rapport, adept questions, actively listen. So in this case, I meet with the seller. What's the result that I want from her? This is a seller who would not, she says, I'm not even going to talk to you on the phone. Come out here and talk to me. Zero ability to be able to connect with each other. So I go there. What's the result that I want? I want to be able to connect with her. I want to be able to start developing a relationship with her. I want to, when I go out there, I want to be able to deliver value to her so that she knows that I'm credible. That's what I want. So how do I do that? I do that through this methodology here. Be in rapport, ask adept questions, actively listen. Yet, when I was asking the adept question and she resisted me, what did that demonstrate? That demonstrated I was not in rapport with her. And so what I physically did at that point was I folded my computer, I folded the folder, I slid it aside, and I looked at her, and I had my hands in front of me, mirroring her position, mirroring who she was being. And I said, I'm sorry. Can you share with me how I offended you? And then I reconnected with the rapport. So sometimes we may be in rapport and then we lose it along the process. Or sometimes, like this instance, I was never in rapport. Okay, so I recognize, oh goodness, I messed up. So now when I recognize that, I just literally physically moved everything away, because that's there's a symbolism in that. I deliberately closed my computer. I deliberately closed my folder, and I deliberately moved them aside, because what I wanted to do is I only wanted to be in rapport with her. Because I knew when I'm in rapport with her, I knew that then we could go back to asking the questions. And we did get back to that. And I did do a deep dive. And then I set my next appointment. Tomorrow, when I meet with her for the second time, the result that I'm going to be looking for is to be able to allow her to understand the economics of the marketplace, help her to decipher those economics, and help her to understand what they mean to her. That's the result immediately that I'm going to be seeking. Then my result that I'll be seeking is to get hired. And there's a bunch of little steps in between here and there. Does that make sense to you guys, the way I'm describing this to you today? Give me a thumbs up. Are you guys aligned with me? Are you here? Are you good? Does this make sense? Give me a thumbs up if it is. Thank you for everyone. Yes, yes. Hey, would yes. Theo says would yes. Theo, you got an extra letter in that yes. Thank you for the would yes. I love it, my man. I love it. So that is what we described this week, was how do you get from where you're at to where you want to be? Do you all believe that you could do that? What I just shared with you? Could you see how you could do that? You just simply have to ask yourself the question, what do I want? Certainly you see that. You guys all see that? Give me a thumbs up if you did. Thumbs up that you could see that you could do that. All right, fantastic. Fantastic. So, who here did the Facebook tactic this week? Raise your hand. Theo did. All right. Bruce did. Fantastic. Congratulations. Who here did the for sale by owner tactic this week? Butch did. Carolyn did. Nancy did. Rosalind did. Al did. Real Al, you know the way you put your name like that, it says Realtor Al. It strikes me as it's almost like Al Capone, the way it's like secret agent Al. You're not a secret agent, right? But it's a cool look the way you got that put together. Who here did the open house strategy this past week? All right. Those hands are up on the other screen. Congratulations to all of you who are doing the open house strategy. So the tactics that you learn throughout the process set you up for these tactics. Yet, if none of those tactics resonated with you, I want you to understand you're okay. Because now that you have an understanding of your way, you have an understanding that it's not my fault that I haven't done this in the past, if that's true of you, because I didn't see my way. And now that you're discovering your way, your eyes are opening up to understand how to implement your way. Your eyes are understanding, they're open to be able to understand that all you need to do is understand what your strengths are, understand what you enjoy doing, what are your God-given talents, where do you have passion, and now just dive into it. So now the only thing that's missing is what are the steps. So just like we're talking about the steps of, I'm here, I want to gain connection with that person, I want to gain the result of a relationship with that person. And that's a CPI framework. So we take every single portion, every single part of the sales process. And in a context like this, I'm teaching you the general theory of here's what you need to know given any circumstance that you're in. Yet, it would be impossible for me to be able to, in this presentation, to be able to share with you every single step along the way. It's taken me 15 years to learn this. I've coached thousands of agents, whether it's people I've led in my brokerage or people through the Consistent Predictable Income certification, who have received the results of consistency and predictability in their income. The way for you to have success in your sales is simply finding your way. It's simply then, when you find your way, understanding what are the step-by-step process to be able to obtain that. So that just like Julie, who takes 3 years to get 2 listings, can then within a short period of time get another 2 listings. I want to tell you about the Cpi Coaching Program that I implement, because a lot of people have been asking me about that. They've been asking me, Dan, what's next? I want to tell you about what the Cpi certification program is. Brian, who is an agent who I've been coaching for about a year now, and he took the Cpi certification. But when Brian and I first met each other, he had been an agent for 17 years. So now he's about 18 years. And So I see Butch raising your hand, but I bet this next piece, I bet this next piece may be a little bit varying from your career. Maybe, maybe not. Brian, 17 years as an agent. Guess how many listings in 17 years Brian took? Nobody wanted to say it, right? It was, yeah. They're like, he's got to have taken one listing in 17 years. Brian was an agent as a buyer's agent on a team. And he didn't necessarily have the faith in himself to be able to say, I know how to do this. Brian didn't have that faith in himself to be able to put together the pieces to be able to obtain the results that he wanted, which was, you know what? I'm sort of tired of bringing buyers and shoving buyers out. All right. Does anybody here sometimes feel that taking listings is a more advantageous approach than serving buyers? Would you guys all agree to that? Yes, 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 yes. So Brian was working hard. Now he had success. He had the business, right? It was all buyers. He took the consistent predictable income certification. And 4 months after enrolling in the course, he quit his job as a buyer's agent. He quit his role as a buyer's agent. I was talking to Brian a couple of weeks ago. He was sharing with me, Dan, within this timetable of doing the sales and being frustrated as a buyer's agent, and over the last 6 months, he's taken 8 listings. You guys get that? That's 0 to 8, which in of itself is impressive. Yet, when you look at the context, that's 0 in 17 years. 8 in about 6 months. I had another agent that I want to tell you about, Michelle. Michelle was a new agent, and she came to me. She's like, Dan, I'm a new agent. You know what? The first thing, I want you guys to get this. How many people here, I'm going to be careful the way I ask this question, up until this moment would refer to yourself as a new agent? All right, a few of you raised your hand. I'm not even going to acknowledge you, and there's a reason why I'm not acknowledging you, because I'm always intending to acknowledge you, right? Thank you for everybody raising their hand. The reason why I'm not acknowledging you by name of who just raised their hand is because I want you to listen to this next story, and then at the end, I'm going to come back to the reason why I'm not acknowledging you by name. Michelle was an agent, brand new. She said to me, she said, Dan, I'm a new agent. And this was not too long ago. This was like 6 months ago or something like that. And I looked at her, I said, okay, thank you for sharing that with me. And what I'm going to ask for you to do is I'm going to ask for you to consider to never say that again. And she was confused. I said, because when you refer to yourself as a new agent to others, they will not see you as a credible expert. You guys all got that? But guess what? That's not the detrimental piece. There's something that sucks, but that's not detrimental. You want to know what's detrimental when you do that? When you communicate to others that you're a new agent. Remember yesterday's project? You're programming yourself that you don't know what you're doing. That's what's detrimental. So I coached her on that. And as I coached her on that, she realized that she has unique skills. She realized that, hey, wait a second, he's right. I have a lifetime of experience. I have a lifetime of knowledge of taking action, of helping people. And that's how she recreated her world of how she communicated to other people. Instead of I'm a new agent, it is I have been helping people to be able to solve problems for years. In my previous career, I help professionals, high net worth individuals, to be able to obtain specific results financially, to be able to achieve their goals, just like I can help you. And that's what she learned to communicate to specific clientele of hers. Would you guys agree that we all have life experiences here? Who here doesn't have a life experience? I'm glad you put your, I'm glad, no, keep your thumb down. Keep your thumb down, Theo. Keep your thumb down. Like, you got to really pay attention to the question, right? The question was, who does not have a life experience? So now I'll ask a better question. Who has life experiences here? Yes, we all do. And just like Michelle has life experiences, so do you. And so what Michelle got through the CPI certification was the understanding of her God-given talents and how she can present those to others. She understood the right way to be in sales. And guess what? She's on sale number 7. You guys got that? Sale number 7. You heard from Kat. She's here. Kat is in the square 3 below me right now, right? You heard from Kat. 8 months, 8 listings. Same type of deal. I don't know where Kat is on your screen, but she's 2 below me. I'll say, hi, Kat. Hello. So these students, what do they all have in common? Was they took the CPI certification. Yesterday, I promised you to be able to give you a gift of 10 things that require 0 talent and 0 money. I invite for you to take out a pen and a piece of paper. And I want you to write these down. I'm going to invite for you to write these down. Here is what takes you 0 talent and 0 money. So if you have any lingering thoughts about the fact that there's something that's getting in your way of making sales, of that you don't know what your way is to make sales, you all have this available to you. We all have this available to us. Number 1, attitude. Attitude requires 0 skill, 0 talent, 0 money. Number 2, being prepared. The ability to be able to be prepared. And for the students who learn the predictable problems of a real estate transaction, those students who go through the CPI certification and learn those predictable problems can then prepare themselves to avoid the problems. For the students who go and prepare before they go onto an appointment to understand the market and then to discover psychology and persuasion techniques and communication techniques, which, oh, by the way, how many agents actually even, like, when we think like, what do I need to know? We often think, well, I just need to go and learn how to do a CMA. That's required, but ain't gonna get you the listing. When you're belly to belly with Xiong, like I was this morning, I didn't even talk to her about value, because that was in the wrong spot. And I thought I was here. I even had to backtrack to set her up. Tomorrow, I'll talk to her about value. So attitude's 1, being prepared is 2, doing extra. Doing extra is number 3. How much money does it take you to do extra? How much talent? How much skill? Zippy, 0. Passion. Those with the most passion are those that are able to create results. Passion can be spontaneous. Woo! Yeah! You can create passion in a given time. Once upon a time, I was a waiter at a high-end steakhouse. And this was back in the day that I was before I was a recovering alcoholic, before I gave up, before I got sober 15 years ago. And I remember I'd be in the back of the house. That's in the kitchen. That's what they call it in restaurants. I mean, probably most of you probably work in restaurants. But in the back of the house, I'd be hungover, miserable. The front door would swing. I'd go out that door. Boom. I'm on. I would create passion. I would create energy for the 5 minutes I'm on the floor. And then I go back into the kitchen and I'm just like, argh. Okay. You can instantaneously create passion and energy. Your body language. That's the next thing I'm going to invite for you to write down. Body language takes you 0 talent, 0 money, 0 skill. So far you've got attitude, being prepared, doing extra. Theo, what doing extra means, Theo had asked, I saw that. I'm going to get to your questions here in a moment. But what doing extra means, whatever, one step more than what you did yesterday. One step more is extra. Having passion, your body language. The next thing I want you to write down is energy. We already talked about energy when we talked about passion. And when those doors would swing in front of me, boom, I got the energy and I've got the passion. The next thing I'm going to invite for you to write down is effort. What effort will you put into learning? What effort will you put into being a better salesperson? The best version of yourself, to being a better person. The next thing I'm going to invite for you to write down is work ethic. Takes you 0 talent, 0 time, 0 energy. And then I'm going to ask for you to write down being on time. You could choose to be on time. What time did this seminar start today? 12 p.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Was I here each time on time? That's my choice. And number 10 is be coachable. Those are the 10 things that cost you 0 talent, 0 skill, 0 money. Be coachable. So I already told you about what Michelle received and what Brian received from the CPI certification, which is the next step. What I'd like to be able to share with you is an invitation for you and I to have a one-on-one conversation where we can discover how you can find your way. And then which framework are we going to put into action to be able to, once we find your way, obtain it. And the CPI certification is 65 sessions, just like what we've done this week. This was 5. This is 65 sessions. It's 12 1-hour masterminds. Where we'll, for those of you that showed up yesterday, had the opportunity to participate in one of those masterminds. And it's 8 teaching sessions live, hour and a half. And access to me as needed throughout the 12 weeks of the course. So I'm going to invite for you right now to book a one-on-one sales call with me so you can learn your sales process. And Leslie just placed that in there. So I'm going to ask for you to book a Your Way call with me. I want to take a look at some of your chats. Thank you. You are welcome. Work ethic. You were right. What's number 8? I don't know. But Leslie put it above that. So requires 0 talent, attitude, be prepared, do extra, passion, body language, energy, effort, work ethic, be on time, be coachable. You can look in the chat there to find that out. What do you mean by extra? I hope that I handled that for you, Theo. Thank you, Kayla, for putting in the resources there for sale by owner, etc. That is very, very helpful to you. And those of you that took the challenge had have more resources in the tactics section as well. I have to leave early. I have showing appointments. Good job, Janet. She's not here to hear that, but we'll all give Janet a kudos. If you sign up for the 5-day challenge, there's a video on day 1 homework that will show you examples of where to find for sale by owners. So that's for Theo. And make sure I got all of these. Cpi Communication Model. Who remembers the Cpi Communication Model? Carolyn, shout it out, shout it out, shout it out, shout it out. You got it. What you got?
I got on mute. Be in rapport, ask, adapt questions, and really listen.
Fantastic. Thank you, Carolyn. Congratulations on that.
Welcome.
By the way, that CPI communication model is not designed necessarily to get better results on a sales appointment, though it does work. That CPI communication model is designed to get better results in your life. Because what we touched on briefly yesterday, but what we didn't go into completely are the scientific hacks to be able to set you for success to get the most out of life. Because we talked about the foundation during this class of lead generation and organization building and then and leadership. Well, the piece below all of that is to be the best version of yourself possible. Because ultimately, when we unleash the talent within us, and oh, by the way, talent, we gave you 10 things that cost you 0 money. When we unleash the potential within us, then we can have success in a business. And so few coaches actually talk about what it is important to be the best version of yourself to be successful in real estate sales. Because certainly you guys are going to agree that this business can beat you up. This business can hurt you. This business can throw a jab or two. And if you're not ready for that, it can be painful. And it will happen. It will happen. I showed you that the other day. It will happen when they say F off. If you're not ready for that F off, you're not ready for that listing appointment on the 2 emails next. And so those are the scientific hacks, is how do you position yourself to be able to prepare yourself to accept that and know that it means nothing about you. And that's what I'll teach you during the CPI certification. Plus so much more. I want to thank everybody for your participation this week. It has been freaking awesome. Take yourself off mute. Let's give yourself an applause. Please, please, and thank you. So please and thank you. Congratulations. And where's Potty Mouth? Where's Potty Mouth? I lost her. Maybe she left us. So wanted to say bye to her. Oh, there. No, that's not her. Anyways, thank you all. I'm so proud of you. You should be proud of yourselves. And I look forward to having that conversation with you. So book a call, and I look forward to helping you discover your way, being a resource for you. And for your friends, please introduce them to me. Please introduce them to the Consistent Predictable Income community, and take advantage of the Facebook group to be able to mastermind together, support each other, because a tribe, a community is what it takes. And thank you again. God bless you. Have the best day of your life. Make good choices. Help somebody. And most importantly, be grateful. And I'm grateful for you.
Thank you.